You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, guys, today on this podcast episode, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I don't think I've really ever done this on a podcast before. We've done this on YouTube, and that is just spend a couple quick minutes promoting and sharing other folks in the industry that I think have a great show and a great podcast that you guys can learn and subscribe to and subscribe from our show. So here's what I wanted to do. I'm going to do a little impromptu phone call to a couple people. We're going to do our best here to kind of splice this together. And basically, I wanted to interview a couple other people's podcast shows that I think are making a big difference out there that you guys can learn from in 2023. A lot of you guys have found my show because of other people's shows, other people's YouTube channels, Instagram posts, blogs. You guys know how it goes. And so I just wanted to spread the word, fan the flame, bump, set, spike, whatever analogy you guys want to use, and share with you some of the other podcasts that I listen to and also I think are just doing a tremendous job adding a lot of value to the lawn and landscaping community that you guys can also subscribe to as you guys are out there plowing that snow or cutting grass, right? So here's the deal. We only put out 3 episodes a week. I say only because it's a lot of effort, don't get me wrong, but we're only putting out a show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And some of these other guys are putting out 1 show a week, 2 shows a week, 3 shows a week, 5 shows a week that you guys can also learn from. I mean, if you're on a mower for 8 hours a day, obviously, you have the ability to listen to my show and many, many other people's shows, audiobooks, and still get some music in before, the clock strikes 4 or 5 o'clock and we're kind of wrapping it up for the day. You know what I mean? So here's what I want to do. I'm going to give these guys a quick buzz. We're going to see what they got going on. So we're going to try something a little bit different here and see what we can do with calling these guys up, right? So we'll see where we go. Here's the first gentleman. Let's see if he will pick up.
What up, B-Money?
Hey, what's up, bud? You are on the show. We are already recording, brother. So, Andrew.
Oh, sweet.
I know. Give it just. I got to prep. I didn't prep any of you guys, but now I'm almost like you never know what you're gonna get, right? So,
love it.
Here's what I'm doing really quick, man. I'm doing a show. I'm gonna highlight a bunch of guys that I listen to, and I think they're doing a great job in the lawn care community. And I want to share and promote your podcast a little bit. So,
thank you.
Yeah, so I'm going to call a bunch of my other guys. I just want to let you know what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I'm just kidding, dude.
That's awesome, dude. I appreciate it.
I was a joke. I was messing with you, letting you know that I was going to call Jeremiah instead. So, but I keyed.
Well deserved. He's got it well deserved. I'll bow out. No problem, man.
I'm only dishing it because I know that you'll pitch and catch, and I know that these are my buddies. You know what I mean? So. All right, let's do this really quick. Give me like 2 minutes of your best. I know we're coming in hot, but this is how we do it on our podcast. Give me your name, where you're from, your podcast, and then give these guys like your 2-minute best elevator pitch or elevator speech about why they should listen to your show, what you guys talk about, and maybe like the schedule and stuff like that.
For sure, man. Absolutely. Well, I'm Andrew Martinez. I'm out of I allude to myself as the Tumbleweed Host podcast of the Lone Star Lawn Talk podcast. And I just recently had you and Naylor Taliaferro and Paul Jameson on celebrating our 100th episode. You can find us on pretty much all major platforms. And with y'all's inspiration, I wanted to be part of that Educator's Heart community in the green industry and the service industry, period. I just think there's so much that we all learn from one another. I am from the northern half of Texas. I'm out of the DFW market. That's Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's where I have my own lawn care business. And I've been in the podcast world. Like I said, we just celebrated our 100th episode in the last week or so. And I've been into 2022 was our first, that was the first year we were in podcasting. And like I said, I just, without sounding like a parrot, I wanted to be a part of that community that gives back. I wanted to say, hey, avoid potholes. I always like to say you got to keep your ass sharp. We're all about keeping margin, not just in your pocketbook, but keeping margin in your calendar. That's what I keep coining from show to show, and keeping your act sharp with your mental acuity and doing podcast shows and following people, attending live events, hanging out with you guys whenever the opportunities arise. That's how I do it for my own self, that I can bleed that out into the rest of the community, man. And so in a nutshell, that's pretty much what you get with the Lone Star Lawn Talk. You know, we have regular guests, much like yourself, people that's been doing this a long time, different trades, different industries. I like to get different perspectives to keep supporting that listener out there in different venues, different takes on just overall entrepreneurship. And that's what I like to say. I mean, and I'll just kind of put an end cap on it there is, that's what I like to do. That's what the Lone Star Lawn Talk is all about, is keeping the axis sharp, keeping the margin both in your pocketbook and more importantly in your time. And if I could just say, those three phrases that pretty much just sum up the podcast, that's what it is. I've had a really good experience, man. All kinds of good experiences and opportunities and relationships and friendships, more importantly, that's stemmed off of stuff like this, and always knowing that, occasionally we'll get a review come through that has impacted someone's life, business. That's it for me, man. That's why we're in this. So
I love it, man.
Hope that helps. Hopefully that's a good little compact dissertation. I like to come on a lot. So anyway.
No, that's 3 minutes or less, man. That's perfect. Let's wrap it up really quick, and I'll let you go. I'm gonna call up the next guest, but
for sure.
What's
yes,
up?
Sir.
What's the schedule, and where can they find you? You're on iTunes and all that other mess, obviously.
Yes. All major platforms: iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Google, all the good stuff. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. We try to post them out the first of the day. I try to break ground on the airwaves around 3:30, 4 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time for all the early risers out there. 3 times a week, every week, man. That's where you can find us, and that is on all major platforms. And it's a little bit lengthy name, but if you just put in Lone Star, it'll pretty much kick us up there. So
awesome, man. Well, guys, give him a love, give him a like, give him a like, give him a follow, show him some love, and they got the Lone Star Lawn Talk podcast. I think that is second place for the world's longest name after John Pajak, financialcoaching.com. So,
I guess I need to work on that, man.
No, it's we'll abbreviate it like Andy did. Although Andy's was abbreviated, and he went long format because nobody knew what the hell his podcast or his business name was anyway.
It's a filter. It's a filter process, right? Filtering them out.
Yeah, that's right. Something like that. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna buzz the next guy. I will let you go. Thanks for hopping on for a quick impromptu 2 minutes here, brother. Appreciate you.
Could I drop the Instagram real quick if people want to DM me or want to jump on the show? Is that cool?
Yep, 100%.
It's the same thing. It's at Lone Star Lawn Talk. That's it. Instagram. I like to hear from you guys. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate the time.
You bet, bud.
Thanks for the call.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you. Take it easy. Bye.
Catch you on the next side. Yes, sir.
All right, guys. So that is Andrew Martinez. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is what I believe he said. And he caught him impromptu driving. That's how we're going to do it today. Give him a shout, though. Give him a follow. He's got just his ear to the grindstone, especially a lot of guys, Texas area, southern area. He's doing a great job. And his 100 plus episodes already in his first year. That's a stout pace, and he's doing a great job. All right, let's do this really quick. Let's see if we can buzz Mr. Jennings here. Here we go.
Hey, man.
Hey, what's up, bud? How you doing?
Nothing much. How about you?
Good, man. We're on record. We're on the show live. I have to start with that because we never know what we're all going to say to each other. It's like, hey, what's up, Stinky? It's like, yeah, that might be the mild.
Yeah. You never know what's going to be said.
I just had Mr. Martinez on, and I said, give me your 2-minute highlight reel and your elevator pitch about the podcast. And in true Andrew form, knowing that he'll listen to this, it took him 5.5 minutes. So, but that's Andrew, and I love it. So really quick, this is totally impromptu. I didn't prep you, but I'm doing a podcast highlighting like 7 or 8 other podcasts, people that I like listening to that I want to encourage my audience to go check out. So I listen to your show at least once a month. I think it's a banger.
Oh man,
I'm totally kidding. I listen to it once every 2 months. So
Yeah, that's right. Once a year.
You guys have Marriage Monday. You have all these different folks and some big wigs that you've had on lately. Like, I'm surprised you still take my call. So,
No, man, it's an honor.
yeah. So give me the 2 minute to somebody who maybe doesn't know you or hasn't subscribed to your podcast just yet. Give me like your background, maybe, really quick, and then what's your podcast about? When does it come out? All that kind of fun stuff, if you don't mind, for 2 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. So 2 minutes. I think I can make that happen. Jeremiah Jennings, Growing Green podcast. It's on all podcast platforms. You can get it anywhere and everywhere. What we do is typically on our Monday show, it's a show with me and my wife, Savannah, and we're always discussing the real life happenings of the Jennings household. And Brian loves those shows. I get a text about once every 6 months, because he never listens. But once every 6 months, roasts me about how awkward and cringy they are. But they're really fun. They're just real life things. We're just real life people trying to relate and talk marriage and business. So that's what we're doing on our Monday shows with that. And then Wednesday and Friday, we are just hanging out, talking all things entrepreneurship and business, everything involved there. I own a landscape company down in Alabama, and so we are in the process of trying to scale and grow and all the things that are involved with that. So we're trying to just be a light for anybody else out there who's in the same stage in their business or in life that we are. Just young in business, young families trying to grow, trying to help each other out and be a lighthouse for somebody to look at, and then hopefully they can take some of what they've learned, if anything is beneficial, and then take it and give it to somebody else. Just kind of keep passing on down the line. So we're just trying to always raise the floor so everybody is growing and building more relationships as we continue. So that's pretty much what we got going on the Growing Green podcast.
Yeah. When does it drop, by the way?
Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So every morning or all those mornings goes out at 5 a.m. and so you can catch it there. And it's a fun one. We just like hanging out. It's not professional. It's not polished. It is just real life stuff, which is what I like listening to. So
definitely,
hopefully,
definitely not polished by any means. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
not polished. No.
By the way, your guys' episode, I was listening to Marriage Monday. I was like a week behind because we were out of town, and I just didn't do anything and just enjoyed time with my family. But I was listening to your guys' recent episode, you and Savannah, or maybe that was yesterday even. I don't even freaking know what. No,
yeah, that was last. Yeah, I woke up to a text of you roasting me.
I laughed. I was listening to podcasts on my thing at like midnight because I was just doing work late night, and so I just binged a couple podcasts, and I was laughing so hard because dude, if you guys haven't listened to Marriage Monday with Savannah and Jeremiah, you guys have got to check it out. I'm gonna plug the episode right here. Go back and listen to episode 188. Are you and your spouse on the same page? The first 12 minutes are solid. Solid. So I can't wait to see you guys have the most solid, robust marriage at the end of this, like 12 months culmination of your guys' Marriage Mondays.
Yeah. It's definitely, it's going to be funny to see how far we've come or how far we've gone backwards. You never know.
It's always funny. Like when you teach something, you become better at it in your own practice, right? So they always say like you learn when you learn something, but you really learn when you teach. And so I'm just so proud of Jeremiah and Savannah and how far they've come on their marriage and how great they're doing. I can't.
Just listen to the show and you'll understand how far we've come.
Well, here's the quick caveat. I'll tell you. That's why you guys are doing it and not Liz and I. You know what I'm saying? Because you're like, everybody's got a perfect marriage like the Almonds, And I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely. So, okay, cool deal, man. Well, by the way, where can they find you on IG if they want to reach out? Maybe they can ever be a guest on your show or just in general catch up with what you guys are doing.
Yeah, for sure. Growing Green Landscapes on all socials, TikTok, Instagram, things like that. It's a place we don't have a massive Instagram or anything like that, but we just hang out, go through our daily what we got going on, and just try to share little bit tips and tricks as we continue to try to help other people grow.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, appreciate the love, appreciate the time. If you guys haven't, go check out the Growing Green podcast. You said Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
That's right. And definitely Monday for those Marriage Mondays, guys. So, all right. Well, that's what I got really quick. And Jeremiah, I appreciate you hopping on, man. And we will let you go. Get back to removing that pine straw. Just kidding. You guys install pine straw. Gosh.
And we get paid very nicely to do it,
It's insane, man. I heard your episode with Christian. I'm like, I laughed so hard. I'm like, how do you guys get paid to put in pine needles? But any which way.
Yeah.
They'll give you hope, folks. Listen to Jeremiah's show, and that's what I got, bud. I'll let you go, and we'll catch up with you soon, all right?
All right. See you, man.
All right. See you, boss. All right. Bye.
Have you ever thought about starting your own lawn and landscaping business, but not sure where to start? Look no further than LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com, an e-training website dedicated to helping you start and grow a successful lawn care business. Save more time and make way more money by learning exactly what it takes to grow your business to the next level. Invest in your future by first investing in yourself. Use promo code PODCAST to save 10% on all training programs today at LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com. Now, back to the show.
All right, there. So there's your quick awkward silence as I hang up on Jeremiah. Great dude, great friend, great buddy. And seriously, they have some great shows out there on this podcast. Give them a shout. Growing Green Landscape, a couple hundred episodes now, and they've been tearing it up. And honestly, Liz and I really do enjoy listening to Marriage Monday, including the rest of their show. So, all right, let's do this really quick. Let's see who we get on line one again here in a quick second, and we'll keep it going.
Hello?
Hey, Naylor.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, doing good. You are live on the air with the recording of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. And I'm doing an episode. Nice. I'm doing an episode really quick, highlighting other people's podcasts. And so you've seen like YouTube videos like this in the lawn care industry where like people like highlight other YouTube channels and all that crap. Well, yeah, for sure. Well, I wanted to do a podcast one. So just a little impromptu. I'm buzzing a couple of my buddies. So long story short, in your impromptu 2-minute, 3-minute best elevator pitch, if you can, tell us a little bit about your podcast, what you got going on, maybe like the schedule and all that mess, and what you guys got going on for 2023, brother.
Yeah, well, thanks. Thanks for thinking about me and having me on the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The El Sierra Media podcast is just kind of like for one thing, it's every Tuesday and Thursday every week. So 2 days a week, just trying to fill in the blanks there, right? Because you're Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I got to make sure everybody's got a full schedule, There you go. But no, it was just kind of like a culmination of just all the creative content that I've enjoyed making over the years with YouTube and social media in general. And podcasting was becoming more and more of a trend in our industry specifically. I mean, there's a few OGs that have been around since the beginning, but it really started to, uptick like with you and Paul and Caleb now and so many other local, or not local, in the community, in our industry podcasting. So it really made me think about how I can extend my creative content as well. I mean, I kind of thought about it years ago, but it just seemed like it was a lot of extra work that I didn't want to put on my plate. But, Mr. Producer came along and all these new doors kind of opened up for the possibilities to be able to do this content. So, just like a lot of us, a lot of interviewing other entrepreneurs that we have going on in the industry. I also have interacted with a lot of other entrepreneurs outside of the green industry, but they're just entrepreneurs, business owners that I've been in contact with and networked with. And sometimes I have some of those folks, whether they be locally or just at other live events and things. And I have them on the podcast as well. And then in between all there, I call them IBG in between guest episodes where I do just kind of myself talking about different topics and almost like vlogging in a way of different things that have happened throughout my season, whether it's struggling with labor or new equipment purchases or changing, my things in my business or adding services, removing services, just kind of addressing those things and different seasonal stuff. Like we're going to be coming up on mulch season. So we talk about mulch and so on and so forth. So that's kind of what we do here on the El Sierra Media podcast, just really trying to stay connected with the community that's helped me grow as a person and, my business as well over the years. And I've been having a good time enjoying it.
Dude, that's awesome. That's a very polished elevator pitch. Like you've done this before. So
thanks.
You when you come listen to this podcast episode, when it drops real time on Friday, Naylor, listen to Andrew Martinez. He did a great job plugging himself. I said, you get 2 minutes. So 7 minutes later, I'm like 2 minutes, bro. So he just ad libs and I love it. That's Andrew. But you were like, I think that was exactly 1 minute and 59. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just having fun.
Nice. I'm kind of down pat now, I guess.
No, dude. Dude, you got it. Appreciate you taking a quick minute. I will actually let you go so I can move over to the next person. But if you guys haven't subscribed to Naylor Show and you guys want to check out everything that they got going on, he's in the transition zone of like Virginia area, different turf types, talks about profitability, route density, a bunch of great stuff all day long. So check out the LCR Media Podcast, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays, right, Naylor?
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, anytime, brother. All right, man. We'll keep the hammer down, and I'll catch up with you soon. All right, brother?
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, bud. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So we've got Naylor hopping on. That was the LCR Media Podcast. Let me do this really quick. We'll buzz our next individual. We'll see if we can get him on. He is a big deal, and we'll see if he'll actually take my phone call.
Jello.
Oh, my God. He actually took the phone call. Holy Jesus.
What's up?
I didn't know if we had to like pay for a feature here. You know what I'm saying? I'll
have to send you a bill.
Yeah, no shoot, right? Well, let's keep the time down to like 2 minutes or less, right? Because I ain't got those pockets. You know what I'm saying? It just never ends with all my buddies here. So if you guys don't know the voice, we've got none other than the go Andy Mulder on line one. What's up, brother? How you been, by the way?
Are we on? Are we live somewhere?
We are recording. This is how we do it, man. We don't do.
Oh, wow.
I told you we're coming in hot. Like,
yeah. Well, I did not expect this. I thought you just wanted to talk really quick, but here we are.
No,
all right.
I mean, we can catch up hunky dory later. You know, I love you. You love me.
It's all good.
Well,
it's all good.
So here's what I'm doing. I'm doing just a real live recording, highlighting people's podcasts that I really enjoy. Trying to go through a couple of my buddies in the lawn care industry, a couple of my buddies in the hardscape world. So you are still doing the podcasts and dropping those on Sundays with your live stream. I think you dropped the podcast. Well, here's the deal. Talk about it for 2 minutes if you don't mind. Give me your best elevator pitch. But I'm trying to highlight people that I really enjoy listening to and I think are doing a great job giving back to the community and really educating a lot of people. So if you got 2-3 minutes, if you want to talk about your podcast, pray tell.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate that. The Mulder Life podcast. We typically record Sunday nights live. It's a live show that I do on Instagram, and usually at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then that live recording gets released as the podcast on Wednesdays typically. So we took some time off over Christmas and New Year's and everything, and we just did our first one back this past Sunday. Yesterday, and I'm excited for 2023 and continuing to do our live podcast and talking to everybody. And we talk about landscaping and hardscaping and equipment and anything you want to talk about. It's really I let the audience kind of guide the show as it goes. So.
I think you have one of the more unique approaches to your podcast because, like you said, it's a recording from the live stream from the night before or a couple nights before on Sundays. And so when you guys have questions, like most podcasts are like a topic, it's kind of like top down. There's a theme or an idea that somebody's talking about, obviously. Most of yours, of course, you have your own rants, but a lot of the stuff that you cover is based on feedback and, like a Q&A from people from the live stream, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's really, it can go every single week, every time we do it, it's completely different. And it's pretty amazing the different kind of questions that come in and how I don't feel like we're always covering the same thing. It's pretty great. It's been really cool to connect with people that way. And I don't know of another podcast that does it like that. And it's always live, nothing scripted. It's I log on and press record and we go for it. So
there you go. Well, you're the authentic voice of the people, the people's champ. So
there you go.
That's awesome, man. Well, that's all I got. Anything else? If you want to plug it really quick, maybe where can they find you? And then one more time, when do you do the live streams if people do want to hop on those real time?
Yeah. So you can follow us on Instagram at Mulder Outdoors, and it's the Mulder Life podcast. And that's most Sunday nights at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Awesome, man. Well, appreciate you, brother. Thanks for taking time out of your day. You can send that invoice to P.O. Box 409, Carroll, Ohio, 43112.
There you go. Wow. There you go. I know exactly where to send that.
You know whose that is. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Caleb's getting the invoice. Rightly so.
Hey man, he plugs it for a reason. That's where I've been sending all my bills in 2022.
Yeah.
So
absolutely, he wants everything else, so might as well send him the bill.
You got to have the sweet for the sour, right, and vice versa. So
there you go.
All right, cool, man. Well, always a pleasure catching up with you. I'll bug you offline afterwards. But thanks again for taking time, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. Have a good one.
All right, see you, brother. Okay, bye. All right, guys. So that is Andy Mulder with the Mulder Life Outdoor Podcast, and comes out on Wednesdays. I made a mistake saying Monday, but comes out on Wednesdays. Love listening to Andy share. He's a plethora of knowledge and just a very, very, very intelligent and exact person. I really like the way he approaches his business, his life, his finances, and hardscaping. Definitely next level stuff. Give him a follow on Instagram. Award-winning designs and installs, doing beautiful work. So let's do this really quick here. I'm going to try and see if we can buzz in our next guest here. Let me see if I can do this here. And we are keeping it going. If you guys are enjoying this, tag me on IG or leave me a 5-star review. Let me know what we're doing here if you guys are enjoying this. And we'll keep it going. Let's see who we got. The anticipation builds with the phone call.
Brian Fullerton.
Hey,
what's up, dude?
we're recording live, so anything you can and say will be used against you in a court of law. So,
oh man, holy cow! Well, let me jump on real quick and get some good audio or better audio for you. But what's up, man? How are you doing?
We're doing good, man. So I'm doing a podcast episode highlighting a bunch of other podcasts. It's not really a lazy approach to doing an episode on this afternoon, but I really did want to highlight some people that I'm listening to that I think are doing a great job in the community. They've got a great podcast. A lot of people have heard these people over the weeks and months and years that you guys have a show, but I wanted to just have you guys give a little 2-3 minute, give me your best elevator pitch. You know what I mean? Letting people know about your show, what you guys talk about. After you're done wrestling the microphone, are you wrestling a bear?
Dude, I know that's broadcasting.
This is like so authentic. It's not even funny. Like this is, it's like the Kid Contractor podcast. I think you self-describe as like a hot mess and a train wreck.
Yeah.
It's just to get you on the microphone. Even it's hilarious.
That's when we got our act together. It's not even, gosh help us when we're right on a bad day. It's worse than that. So yeah, sorry. I was trying to get over onto the board here so I can actually get better audio for you and all that. But
dude, cell phone works just fine. Actually, when you do road to road, I never have any luck with it sounding good.
I know you're a weirdo about that. Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Are you on speaker right now?
No, I just went over to my road board. You were saying it's bad, it's worse.
No, it's definitely a lot quieter. Like whatever you were on before, you started arm wrestling a grizzly bear. But here you are.
That's probably when I'm switching over. Yeah, that's when I'm switching over the mic and all that. So I'm sorry, bro. Again, excellent podcast. Kid Contractor podcast without a doubt.
Dude, every other person picks up. They're like ready. They just hit it, and then like I call you, and it's like.
Well, see, the real debate was I was sitting in my office. I'm like, I wonder if I got time to make a cup of coffee before Brian called, and I was still in my office, and then we ran over into because we have an actual studio, Brian. We're the most well laid out show that nobody listens to kind of deal here, at least as far as studio goes. And although I developed an echo in this place again, that's a long story. But
well,
anyways, Brian, I love what you do for the industry, man. And this is just one of those things that Brian gives back.
Brian gives back. That's what I do. I'm a philanthropist. If you don't know,
Dalai Lama for sure.
Yeah, I mean me and the Golden Monks or whatever. Like we just give back. We're just I don't even know who that is. Hey, real quick, are you on? Can you go back on your phone only because the audio did sound a lot better. You sound really.
Oh
cool.
gosh.
I know.
Yeah, hang on.
I'm trying to help you. Oh my God,
okay, so here I am, straight back on my iPhone. That's better. I'm doing the best I can, Brian, to try to accommodate you, and now I just got played. Man, do I feel like a chump now.
You are.
But is the audio better or not? Does it work?
It sounds better, yes.
Oh, no. This road board's junk.
No, I'm telling you, when you do road, so if you guys listening in as the spectators, the civilians listening in that just got violently thrashed around in their truck with your audio, if you go, if you use Road Mixer to Road Mixer, it for some reason like the audio quality drops. Like they just don't work well together. I don't know why. At least mine. Maybe the newer ones or if it's updated or something like that. But like just a direct phone call to me sounds pretty good. So if you guys don't know, Caleb and Brittany extremely pride themselves on quality audio, and so they are.
My gosh.
they are the pinnacle, I would say, after Paul Jameson of excellence in broadcasting. So,
For sure.
and like this is like a whole pitch without giving a pitch, right, for your show. Like if you want more of this, clearly come check out Caleb and Brittany's podcast. So, we could do jokes all day, but give me like a 2-minute, if you don't mind. Like I said, I wanted to highlight a couple of people that have great podcasts, and out of obligation, I'm calling you. And
yeah, really, man, you owe me for sure. It's only paying back part of the debt, but this was a good start.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, you never know what you're going to get when you call people like live on the air, right? Because I called.
Oh, it's always fun.
Well, I called Andy, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And I'm like, "Hey, you're on the podcast." He's like, "Now?" I'm like, "Yeah, now." Like, he's like, "Oh, crap!" Like you know. He's like, I thought you would like prep me. I'm like, no, I'm a good friend like that. That's how we do this, you know? So
Andy loves spontaneous things like this, without a doubt.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, and it's funny cause, I said, I don't have to pay you to be on this thing. Right. And, cause I might get an invoice for like $500, you know what I mean? Cause his time is expensive. And, guess where I told him to send the invoice?
Yeah, I was going to say, probably another place that won't cash either.
I said P.O. Box 301, Carroll, Ohio, 41112, whatever.
We're going to get it right, Brian. It's P.O. Box 203, Carroll, Ohio, 41112. That's for the hate mail. If anybody wants to send us hate mail.
Yeah, hate mail. That's right, 203.
You think anybody writes letters, even the old timers? Do you think anybody writes hate letters, actual hate mail anymore?
I don't know.
Or is it all electronic?
Well, I check my P.O. Box once a month, and I throw anything that that isn't like relevant. Obviously, I just throw it in the little blue recycling bin anyway, which is where hate mail would go anyway. But I mean, save a tree. We're all greenies anyway, right? Save a tree. Just leave a 1-star, you know, on Caleb's show. You don't have to leave a hate mail and waste 48 cents on a stamp these days. I mean, you don't.
That's true.
You still got to be cost effective, even if you're a hater. You know, like
there are green ways to hate. That's absolutely true. Thank you for bringing that up.
Go paperless. Click the e-file, you know, and
your paperless hate mail.
I'm trying to save the trees. You know what I'm saying? So it's my quest.
I know you're a big advocate. Yeah, for sure. Especially how you feel about recycling.
That's why recycling, and that's also why I got a Tesla. You know what I mean? So it's put your money where your mouth is, Caleb. I'm a practitioner. Okay, with my
man. You are making me look really hypocritical right now, for sure.
What's the carbon footprint on an 80 by 120 building? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I want to know. Like,
potentially significant. Yeah.
God,
it's also a big black building, so it absorbs a bunch of heat in the summer.
Just hacking down the sequoias. Swear to God.
Actually, we actually spent a fortune on foam insulation. So actually, the building's very energy efficient because. You know, you throw out a Tesla and I'll raise you foam insulated building as far as green concerns go. And I even got a rainwater harvesting tank on my facility to save the rainwater. What are you doing?
You know, I drink Essentia water in plastic bottles, and those go right into the landfill. You know, so I don't know. But look. I'm not on the chair. Okay, I'm not under the microscope right now. We're gonna put you under the. So we're going to highlight you, not microscope. We're not going to, go down the rabbit hole of what you're doing wrong. I like to highlight what people are doing right, Caleb, on our show. You know what I'm saying? So, but I digress. All right, because I got to call Paul after this because he's a very, very busy person. He if I don't call him between a certain window, he's going to miss his pool time. So give me your best two. He's probably, I swear to God, if he's laying outside poolside right now, I'm going to lose my mind. It's 20 degrees up here in Michigan. It's probably 75 in Georgia, but I live vicariously through Paul. So give me your 2-minute. What's the Kid Contractor podcast? Who's it for? What's new in 2023? If people have never listened to the show, what's the pitch? Give me the best way that we can send some folks your guys' way if they want to check out what you guys are doing.
Well, golly, Brian, thanks again. Always love being on the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. So thank you very much for that. Yeah, man, we're a Kid Contractor podcast. It's a show that really what the real goal is to draw commonalities out of all business. So we interview a lot of people from pizza shop owners, bridge construction, hardscape, landscape companies, primarily there, of course, and just always trying to draw the commonalities out of business because everybody thinks they're alone in this thing. Everybody thinks they're the only ones dealing with employee issues or cash flow issues or underbidding work or trying to figure out what the right profit margins are and all that kind of stuff. And so my goal with this show has been to kind of expose that we're not, you're not alone out there as a business owner or as a go-getter, let's say even. And that's just always kind of been the thing. I think everybody, anytime I share, because I crashed my first company is one of the things I always kind of hearken to. And I crashed my first company pushing 15 years ago now, and I thought I was the only person that dumb to run a company that poorly. And so I always felt bad about that. And then I started realizing the more I would talk about it, share it on social media stuff, the more I realized that I wasn't alone, and the struggles of trying to run a company the right way. And so then it just became my maxim, if you will, of trying to share at least the ways how not to run a business poorly, because I've got plenty of information there because I did lots of things in business the wrong way. So that's kind of been the Kid Contractor podcast in a nutshell. And the last year has been really challenging because we built a shop. We ran our landscaping and hardscape company through the shop build, as well as did the podcast and other social media ventures and stuff. And the last year was really challenging, and some podcasts we put out were really good, and some we put out weren't so good because I was being pulled into me a direction. So really looking forward to recharging for this year and getting a lot of awesome guests on. I haven't had you on in a while, Brian. I need to get you back on.
Yeah, I'm not that good, so don't worry about it.
Well, it's when we get hard up, I guess you'll know that's when Brian's on the show again here. So, but it's been a while. We used to have you on a bit, so we need to. Now it's every time we hang out, I think we're both kind of like, oh, let's just chill, or let's just try to breathe for a second instead of just always trying to content the heck out of everything. So we end up just talking and chatting more than we actually end up trying to counter interview each other.
It's true.
But anyways, that's us, man. That's what we're up to. So I really, your podcast keeps doing better and better, and I know the work you put into this thing. You've always putting out quality stuff, and I've always admired that of you and really only a couple other people are really putting in the work to make a podcast go. So I always admire that about you.
Well, I appreciate that. For real, I do appreciate that. I will also say, like, I said this a couple of times when other people were talking, but I said my goal is to just fan the flames, man. Just spread the love, and if we get somebody new to the show and they just happen to stumble upon this and they're like, "Hey, I want to learn more about landscaping or hardscaping," I'm like, "Hey, there's certain things I feel like I'm an 8 or a 9 at, right?" And there's other things that I'm a 2, and my hardscaping, landscaping, general contractor type folks are more yourself, Andy Mulder, a couple other great guys, obviously, as well. So anytime I can point people in the right direction and get them linked up with somebody that I think they can find a lot of value from, I'd be the first to point them out and to say, I don't know. And also number 2, I think this guy does. And so you guys have always been a fun podcast, a fun voice, very educational, both you and Brittany, obviously, with the Kid Contractor podcast. One last thing, where can people find you? And then also, well, I guess that would be 2 last things. Where can people find you? And then where can, what's the podcast schedule when you guys drop episodes?
Hey, man, thanks again, too. I really appreciate it, dude. But yeah, it's Kid Contractor Podcast. We drop episodes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then all the social platforms, every one of them, I think, is all Auman Landscape, AUMAN Landscape. You'll find us there. And I think that's the 2 questions you got. Brian, what's your guiding light for the Fullerton Unfiltered show here for 2023?
My moniker, my MO is real, authentic lawn care. That's it. It's actually helping people grow a real lawn care landscaping business. And it's not theory. It's not made up. I'm not trying to sell people anything they don't need. I am here to sell people stuff that they could use because if you did it on your own, it would take you 10 times as much or 10 times as long. So from contracts to resources to whatever. But at the end of the day, our business grew. We were looking at it just yesterday. Liz and I did a little debrief on 2022, and we grew 100,000 plus in revenue and 40,000 additional in profit on top of what we did in 2021. So
that's awesome, man.
So we're not just raising prices 10%, and I can say we did 10% more in revenue, right? So we grew by 35%, and our net profit was up an additional 15 to 20%. We had a 25% margin, not counting the owner's draw or the owner's salary. So like I said, we netted about 110 grand on the business. I'm not saying it's the biggest business. I'm not saying it's the smallest business, but I'm saying if you want to work 40 hours a week in the summer and 10 hours every 2 weeks in the winter, I can show you how to make 6 figures. I think that's a decent little lifestyle. And, if you want to grow bigger, there's a bunch of other great podcasts I can point you to, but we won't mess you up as we help you lay the foundation to start a successful green industry business. So that's that's where I'm at, brother. And I'm super fired up. Like, I just feel like it's working, man. People listening in, they're growing, they're hungry for it. And we're all learning together. I don't think anybody's got the silver bullet, but I think everybody's chipping in and adding those little jigsaw puzzle pieces, and we're all putting together that puzzle, man.
Yeah, dude, that's well said. Exactly it. I couldn't agree more. And definitely what you're doing is a huge, at least a couple pieces of that puzzle, if not more, man. So keep it up.
Thanks, brother. All right, man. Well, appreciate you guys. We'll see you in a couple weeks in Florida. And yeah, we'll definitely be texting with you, and maybe we'll do an in-person podcast, and we can just lay it out thick on politics. We'll put it on my show.
So, all right, sounds great, man. Awesome. Keep it up, dude.
All right, brother. You bet. Have a good rest of the day. We'll see you. Bye.
See you.
All right, that is Allman Landscape, Caleb Allman. Always a great time, for real. I can't say enough good things about those guys. Let's keep it going. Cornell.
What's up, brother?
Hey, how we doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Dude, I'm just rapid fire here. We're a dumpster fire coming down the road, but it feels good. And we're already recording on the podcast. I'm buzzing up a couple of my buddies that have great podcasts, and they're crushing things in the lawn and landscape industry. And basically, as you know, we're on our mowers or we're plowing snow, 8, 10, 12 hours a day. And, I appreciate people listening to my show, but at the end of the day, there's so many other great people out there with podcasts. I wanted to just give you a quick, 2 or 3 minutes, if you can. If you want to share about what you and Cedric are doing, because you guys have a new podcast this year. I've had you guys both on individually on the show anyway, but this podcast episode, I wanted to just kind of spread some love, send people to other people's podcasts if they, resonate with a little bit about what you guys are putting together. So if you don't mind, take 2 or 3 minutes, let them know a little bit about you, your background, and then what you guys got going on with your podcast, the schedule, the topics, all that kind of mess.
Yeah, so we had, for me, I am Cornell Mack Landscaping Lawn Care out of Monroeville, Pennsylvania, suburb of Pittsburgh. Got into lawn care from watching YouTube videos and everything. And basically, I've seen all these people doing YouTube, and then I started to listen to podcasts. And because of that, I came to Brian's event, and I met Cedric. Him and I struck up a friendship. He came over to my house a few times. We were just talking. His wife said, you guys are good at this, whatever. So one day Cedric hit me up. He's like, I'm going to go on Instagram Live. Would you want to come on? And I was like, sure. So I sat on my back porch. We did Instagram Live. And when we got off, it gave me this feeling of some people started to watch us and they were talking and everything. It gave me this feeling oh, well, I kind of like this. I told him, man, we should do this every week. So we started on Sundays, and then we was doing it for a few weeks. And then someone in the comments was just like, when are you guys going to make this into a podcast? And so Cedric did his due diligence. He figured out how, we get into getting everything squared away, what kind of audio equipment and everything that we needed. And boom, he helped us get started with a podcast. It's called the Lawn Care Power Moves Podcast. We drop episodes every Monday. And soon we'll be adding a second day, which will be Fridays. We like to, for me, my mission, my goal is, I didn't have any information, no background in business, no background in lawn care, but I'm a highly driven person who's always looking to be inspired by something. And I found inspiration in lawn care, helped me change my life. And I felt like, let me start telling people stories about how I grew up, my background and everything, so that they can understand who I am as a person. Same thing with Cedric. We give our background stories, but then we're just regular dudes like, everyone else is in the lawn care industry. But we want to come at it with a little bit of a different flavor. So I'm more passion, desire, try and get you to get out there, put some inspiration into your heart. Cedric has all of the knowledge, man. He's super smart. He can talk in technical terms about everything. So we want to give you a little bit of, I like to say, inspiration, motivation, and education. So that's what the Lawn Care Power Moves podcast is all about.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. When you were saying what the podcast is all about, you were like, it's about, pain. It's about struggle. It's about something. It's about power. I thought you were The Rock for a second, singing this. I just had to throw that in there. Really, it's about passion. It's about power, or whatever. I was like, is he singing the same song? Like, but for real, you guys have a great show going on. Go ahead. You were going to weigh in.
No, I just truly believe that a lot of times people they hold themselves back because they might have grew up in a whatever type of situation, and because that happened, or someone may have put their how they feel on them. Maybe someone else thought that they couldn't do something, and because they felt that way about their own selves, they want to put you down because you want to try something, and they want to tell you, no, I can't work for you because it didn't work for them. And my thing is, no, it will work for you as long as you're dedicated. You put your heart and your soul into something. You truly care about it. It can happen for you. No one knew who I was, and now I have a podcast. Me and Cedric. No one knew who he was. Now he has a podcast, and people are reaching out because they're looking for the same things. So I just felt like if there's so many people out here in the world who are looking for an example of someone who really had no idea what they were doing, we're your guys.
Dude, I love it.
We didn't, and we're doing it, and so you can too. And that's we want to help people make power moves, not just in business but in their life. You know what I mean?
There you go. What days does the podcast drop? You said Monday and Friday, right?
Yeah, right now we drop every Monday. Our newest episode just had Naylor Taliaferro, lawn care rookie, on. So we come out. We try to come at you with some new flavor this year with this month with some interviews and everything. But yeah, they come out on Mondays, and soon they'll be coming out on Fridays as well.
Awesome, man. Awesome. We'll keep the hammer down. Appreciate you taking 2 quick minutes to plug it and highlight it, man. And you guys how many episodes you have now? 5 or 6 probably, I would imagine, right?
I think we are up to 8, I believe. We've been doing it, I think, for like 8 weeks now.
Yeah. I was going to say, I know I was on like one of the episodes. You've had a couple of great guests on there already. The first episode's the best one, just listening to you guys like stumble your way through it. And it's pretty cool, you know? And I'm really excited about seeing where you guys take it in 2023. So keep it going, man.
Well, I appreciate it, man. And all of you guys, I appreciate you, Paul Jameson, Naylor, Jeremiah Jennings, like the people who are in the community of social media. They're the same as they are in business. They want to help. The people like Brian and the people I just mentioned who are giving out the information is real, is genuine. You know what I mean? And that's, they've been so welcoming to us that I feel like you've made it so it's kind of hard for us not to succeed, if that makes sense. So I appreciate you even having us on there.
I appreciate you saying kind things. I owe you $20. You know what I'm saying? So
checks in the mail.
That's right. That's right. I was joking with earlier. I said if you want to send checks, send them to my PO. If you want to send invoices, send them to 302 P.O. Box, Carroll, Ohio. You know what I mean? So, but
no doubt.
Where can people? I'm going to let you go here, but I appreciate you hopping on. But where can people find you, and where can people find Cedric, really quick, and we'll let you guys go.
So you can find Cedric on Instagram at Still Cuts the Best. I'm also on Instagram, Mac_landscaping. I have a YouTube channel, Mac Landscaping and Lawn Care. We just got over 1,000 subscribers. I think we're right at like 1,069, but who's counting?
Cool.
So you can go over there and catch me there. And then we have Mac Landscaping Lawn Care also on Facebook and TikTok.
There you go. Awesome, man. We'll appreciate you taking a quick second, letting people know about the show, the Power Moves podcast, Mondays and soon to be also Fridays. So check them out, guys. And that's what I got, Cornell. I will let you go, man. I'm going to call up the next friend of mine, but you guys have a good week, and I'll talk to you soon, brother.
Yes, sir. Hey, Lawn Care Power Moves Instagram live show every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
There you go. Check it out. All right.
Man.
Appreciate it, brother. All right,
Thank you, brother.
Okay.
Yes,
we'll see you. Bye. All right, that's Cornell Mac, guys. I always enjoy talking to Cornell and Cedric. They are 2 really cool dudes, man. I'm telling you what, they've been able to befriend both of them over the last couple years, maybe 2 years. I think it's been since LAL 2021. So I've seen them there where they came to our live event, which is every November. And then so I'm at a Quip Expo, and it's been just really cool seeing them grow their business and their life, and everything they got going on. So check them out. All right, let's call up another quick gentleman here. We'll see, and we will be wrapping this up here before you know it. But let's keep the momentum going, and we will see who we got on line 1. The anticipation.
Enjoying today's show? Motivated to take your lawn care and landscaping business to the next level? Learn what it takes to grow your lawn and landscaping business today with training and education from the Lawntrepreneur Academy. Get educated with how-tos on mulch installation, plowing snow, aeration and overseeding, and so much more. These training programs are designed to help you save time and make more money with your business. Invest in your future by first investing in yourself. Use promo code PODCAST to save 10% on all courses today at LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com. Now, back to the show.
What's up, Brian?
Hey, there he is, the GOAT. What's up, bud?
Not much, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm 50 minutes deep. We're recording live. We're on the podcast here, highlighting other people's podcasts. So I'm doing like a list type of podcast here. So what I'm doing is calling up all my podcast buddies that have great shows that I think are doing a great job. And I think we're saving one of the best for last. And so Green Industry Podcast, Paul Jameson. Here's what I'm doing, Paul. Just having you guys, if you don't mind, sharing a quick little impromptu 2 or 3 minute, give me your best elevator pitch, if you will, for these guys listening to the show. If they want to listen to other great podcasts, learn a little bit more about how to grow a green industry business. So I wanted to get you on the show, of course. So you have one of the best podcasts in the industry, no doubt about that. And so thanks for taking the call, man. By the way, how's your day? What's new? Everything going good?
I was literally just listening to your podcast, eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and some potato chips, listening to your Park City stories and your BYU stories, laughing my head off, man.
I don't know what BYU is. Liz knew, and I'm like, how do you even know what that is? It was the most funny, impromptu, awkward part of the show. So,
Brigham Young University. I'm telling you, when you have Liz on the show, those episodes are your best, man. You got to get her on as frequently as possible. You guys crack me up, man.
We're doing our best to get around every Friday or at least every other week. It's this real life with family and kids and obligations and scheduling and calendars lining up. It's just of course it's a challenge. Just everything is. You just do your best. But I totally agree. I told Liz all the time. I'm like, I love having you on. It's just a different side of like our full relationship that people get to see. Like I'm Mr. Businessman all the time, but when you realize like Liz and I are just two peas in a pod, just putting this thing together, just trying to have fun and help people out, and of course figure out our life as well. You guys hopefully realize how like authentic and just regular normal people we are. So hopefully that doesn't under impress or even over impress. We're just we're not pretending like we have it all figured out. No way. But Liz on that episode, she always makes me laugh and she always makes me cry. That's a fact in a good way. So appreciate still listening to the show, man. So what's new with the Green Industry Podcast?
Well, one of my goals for 2023 is to try to get as many in-person interviews as possible. So I'm headed up to Almonds. I haven't seen their shop yet, so I'm headed there for the podcast summit on January 28th, and really excited. I was watching Andy Mulder and Pajak's stories when they had like the Hardscape Academy training there. So I'm really excited to see Caleb's studio and be there in person and get, hopefully bang out, 8-10 podcasts there from beautiful Fairfield County, Ohio in end of January.
Dude, that's awesome.
And then in the beginning of February, there's actually an event in the ATL. Finally, somebody's coming to my city. So it's called Synced Live, and I'm going to have basically like a booth there, and I'm going to be interviewing anybody and everybody, trying to get more in-person interviews at that show. So if any of y'all live in Georgia, come on out to Synced Live February 6th and 7th in Atlanta, Georgia here. And, love to get you on the podcast, hang out. I think Jennings is coming over for that one. Naylor's coming down. So it's going to be a good time at that event. And then February 19 and 20 through 21st, I'm headed over to Mississippi to podcast at the Kohler Engines event out there in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. So my goal, Brian, you would appreciate this as a podcaster, is to batch so many episodes that I basically have a couple months worth of in-person interviews, because you and Liz can go to the Fullerton Unfiltered studios and bang out these masterpieces. But when I don't have an in-person episode and it's just me, it's a flop. So it's hard for me to, I don't like doing solo shows. I like having guests on in person. So
sure.
That's kind of the strategy.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. And then what's the theme or what's the topic for 2023? Or what are you most excited about sharing about or helping people grow in 2023?
Well, I think we picked up a lot of momentum in 2022 about the whole know your numbers thing. A lot of people are DMing me, messaging me, asking me these like high level questions. I had a DM from somebody the other day and he's like, when you're establishing your break even point, is this 1 second, Brian, hold on.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Excellence in broadcasting.
Yeah, no, anyway, people are really starting to pay more attention to their numbers. And so I'm going to try to provide, I'm still learning it on the fly like you guys are, but I'm going to try to bring in more John Pajax and my bookkeeper, Joey Coberly, and my CFP, Sheila Chaplin. And I really find like guests like that are very popular. So I'm going to try my best. There's a few other people that are kind of long shots, but I'm going to reach out to them as well that are experts on the money side of the business. So definitely want to have more and more financial literacy of how to run a profitable business on the show this year and carry that momentum from last year.
I love it. I think that's a topic that everybody has heard. They need to know more. They need to learn more, like you were just alluding to. I agree. Because at the end of the day, like many people have said, we all work too hard for it. It's a tough industry. Slinging mulch when it's 100 degrees out, plowing snow when it's 0 degrees out. Like at the end of the day, it is a business and there's nothing wrong with profit. You should be very profitable. You should be exceedingly profitable. And the more profit, the better. And I don't understand why that's such a difficult conversation. I don't think it is for the people listening to the show. I think it's for a whole nother group of people out there in the country that just don't understand, like through profit, you have choices, and through choices, you can do good things with money if you're a good person, as many people have said. And if you're a bad person, you're going to do bad things with money. And so I'm a good person. I like doing good things with money. And I think we should all have as much as we can make and earn and be able to bless as many people as possible, man. So, Paul, super appreciate that. Anything else you want to add or are thinking about with the Green Industry Podcast? But what's the schedule, by the way? And then, anything else you want to add really quick? What we got you?
Yeah, absolutely. The schedule is every single morning, Monday through Friday. So we crank out 5 episodes a week. And kind of I pulled that one from, Mr. Producer actually was the one who nudged me in that direction because we used to work together at a radio station and they had a fantastic morning show. It was called Rise and Stein. That was it was a married couple and that was their last name, Stein. So it was like Rise and Shine, Rise and Stein.
I get it.
And they had this really just entertaining, inspirational morning show every single morning. And it was like part of my morning routine, to listen to Rise and Stein. So one day our producer, Mr. Producer, was like, hey, why don't you do the morning show, for the grain industry? And I was like, okay. So I kind of had that experience in radio of every morning. And now that was live on radio, but this is like a on-demand podcast. You can listen to it any part of the day, but the goal was to try to create a daily podcast. So it is Monday through Friday, every single morning. And then my other goal for this year is to really get established on YouTube. So I know I was listening to you literally as you called me, and you were talking about how when you created your podcast video, it flopped. So I'm going to try to figure out how, because I really like video podcasting and Joe Rogan clips. I watch those all the time. If it's a topic that is interesting to me. So I know that in our industry, it hasn't you can obviously do other things that we all know of that's going to get a bunch of views on YouTube, of course. But I want to figure out a way where I can kind of have these little clips from the podcast and stuff on YouTube and YouTube Shorts and things like that. So I'm going to experiment and really try to get the YouTube up and going this year, the Green Industry Podcast YouTube channel. So that's kind of the new goal for this year. I know you're already established and got your silver play and all that, but I want to get that accomplishment as well this year.
Dude, awesome. Well, I believe you can do it, man. It's a little bit of work and maybe consistency over time, man. You know how it goes. So Green Industry Podcast on all the platforms, Green Industry Podcast on YouTube, and give Paul a follow, guys. Subscribe to the show. I think you have 750, 800 episodes now, Paul.
No, sir. We're by the time this comes out, we should be hitting 900.
Dang, son. That's awesome, man. That's so crazy. Good for you. I don't even know where we're at. I literally couldn't even tell you. I think we're at 400 something. I get about every 100 update from Mr. Producer. I used to be a very, very extreme detail person. I'm a very macro person this last 5 years of my life. And so we have a podcast. I don't know. We have an episode. We're between 100 and 1,000. I'm sure Mr. Producer will let me know whenever we hit the next benchmark. But 900 episodes almost, Paul. That's incredible. It's a commitment. I mean, that's 900 episodes talking about lawn care for 30 plus minutes. I mean, I would have to imagine, if you did the math, that's an equivalence to a 4-year degree at a major university in terms of like seat time. So if you guys want to get your 4-year degree in education and lawn care, outside of my show even, you got that and then some on the Green Industry Podcast. So it's crazy the amount of information. And if you can only even if you only take one nugget away from every show, that's 900 nuggets, nuances, 1 degree shifts in your business and your mindset. I think it's just wild out there what's available to you for free, for freaking free. So, Paul,
right, and you actually learn. Can I say one more thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was talking to a guy the other day, and he's a little bit older and is not, all hip with the podcast like our generation. But I was like, well, what do you listen to? And he's like, well, I listen to these sports guys on YouTube, like talk about who's going to win the game and who to bet on and all this stuff. And I was like, dude, like you're not learning nothing. Like if you listen to podcasts, you could actually, take something away that you can apply to your business to make it more profitable rather than hyping up the game and then recapping who won the game. And because I used to watch that stuff and listen to that stuff, but I was letting them know, like, hey, there's a whole, and I'm sure with your podcast today, you've interviewed all these guys, like, there's a whole library of free content out there that can move the needle in your life. And, I tried to persuade them to get plugged into the podcast.
Well, I mean, think about that. I mean, if there's 900 shows with yours, 500, we'll button up with this, but if there's 900 with you, I don't even know, 400 or 500 with me, 400 or 500 with Caleb, that's 9 and 8 is 1,700. And let's say all the other guys have 100 plus shows each that we've had on the show. That's another 300 to 500 shows. There's 2,000 episodes. There's 2,000, and if each one's a half hour, let's say they're an hour, that's 1,000 to 2,000 hours of free content. I mean, there's been more talked about in lawn care landscaping in the last 3 years on podcasts than all blogs and everything else combined. You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of relevancy, credibility, practicality, and just help you guys grow. I mean, personally and professionally. So that's kind of the point of this podcast. I think that's a great way to kind of do a little end cap. So, Paul, that's what I got for you, brother. I'm going to shift gears really quick. I got one other guy I want to hop on here really quick with, but any final words? But if not, we'll catch up with you, bud.
I'll let you go. I'm picking up on the social cues when you say button up. I got another guy. I get it. This is over. So you keep on going, and thanks for including me. And thanks for listening, guys.
Hey, you bet, bud. All right, man. I'll catch up with you here soon. All right. See you, Paul.
All right. Bye.
All right, guys. So I got one other gentleman that I wanted to hop on here really quick. There's one or two I should say, but at the same point, trying to do my best to get everybody on here as a quick little impromptu for the podcast episodes. Let's see if we can get one more on here really quick.
Hello?
Hey, is this Craig?
Yes.
Hey, Craig. What's up, brother? It's Brian. How you doing, bud?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, man. We're recording live on the podcast episode. I am doing a podcast kind of little marathon here where I am trying to do my best to highlight a bunch of my friends and buddies and also people that I just, in general, putting out great content for lawn care, landscaping, hardscaping. And you have a new podcast that you just released. And I wanted to kind of wrap it up with one more hardscaping podcast. We had Caleb Allman on and also Andy Mulder. And then you guys have another hardscaping podcast. So give me, if you can, your little 2 or 3 minute quote unquote elevator pitch, right? To let people know about what you got going on, brother.
So it's called Backyard Conversations. And basically I've been in the industry a little over 20 years. And I've had a wide range of experience from contracting to, anywhere from carpentry to excavation to hardscape, landscape, and also decks and things like that. And then also went into sales for a while as a distributor rep and a manufacturer rep in the hardscape industry. And now I'm back in contracting, and now we're doing pools. And so I have a wide variety of experiences. And then through my travels and being a rep, I really gained a large network. So I'm trying to tap into some of those connections I made, and then use those to educate and tell stories about the industry in more of a conversational, laid back kind of format. So that's kind of what we're doing there.
Dude, that's awesome. For real. I'm super excited about checking out the show. And you guys just launched it not that long ago, right?
Yeah, so we have 5 episodes, and so we've had, a couple different hardscape contractors. We just had a civil engineer on that's, he works in permeable pavers and helps design and consult with Belgard, one of the large hardscape producers. And so he was on, kind of did an educational format for us on that. And so, yeah, it's just getting started. We're excited for some of the guests.
What is your guys' current upload schedule, or where can people find the show? Like once a week, couple times a week, or what do you guys got going on?
So we're doing every other week is what we're trying to do right now, with a few bonus episodes that will always be on Tuesday. So we just did one this past Tuesday, so we're going to do one next Tuesday. So every other week. Okay. And working out pretty good. And then we have a couple bonus episodes we've thrown in. Like if something's time sensitive, I'll just put it in on the Tuesday between. So yeah, you can find us on Instagram also, and YouTube, backyard.conversations on Instagram, and Backyard Conversations on YouTube.
There you go. Well, Craig, super appreciate the time, man. I was texting Josh. I'm like, hey, do you have Craig's number? And he's like, just DM him. And I'm like, oh yeah, nah. And so I'm like spinning 3 plates here doing this podcast. My wife's texting me. I'm doing the podcast. The cleaners are over. My wife's mom's, grandma's babysitting the baby. I'm like, just, my brain's fried, but I'm just trying to, I've had about 8 or 9 different podcast friends on here that I wanted to just highlight. And I know you had a new hardscaping one. I love learning about hardscaping, so I wanted to try to get 1 or 2 more guys on. And I'm glad that I was able to grab you really quick, man. So thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you thinking of me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, hey, really quick, Craig, I'll let you go, but if I can just end up with this, anything else you want to talk about with the Backyard Conversations podcast? And then number 2, where can people find you personally if they want to be a guest or submit a question or a topic or reach out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I'm the owner of Scheller Outdoor Living in the Kansas City area, and I also have YouTube and Instagram for that at Scheller Outdoor Living. And then we're really, I just want to help elevate the industry through education and real content, real conversation. So that's kind of why the name Backyard Conversations came about. I kind of had the idea of like sitting around the fire pit or whatever, and just 2 people in the industry just going back and forth. And it's typically going to be people that I have a relationship with, which I feel like gives it a little bit more
authenticity. Yeah,
I don't know what the right word is for that, but yeah, it's just a little bit more conversational, and it's a little less, question and answer, and it's just we kind of go wherever the conversation takes us with a few thoughts in mind when I get it started. So I just really want it to be laid back and something people enjoy and hopefully get something out of.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to hop on, and I was glad I was able to grab you really quick. I'll let you go. You're probably in some, $150,000 excavator taking my call. So I'm glad you took time for the peasantry. You know what I'm saying? So
no, thank you. We're trying to get a project finished up, but yeah, no problem.
Cool, man. All right, bud. Well, I'll let you go. Appreciate the time, and we'll definitely catch up with you soon. All right.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. See you, Craig. Okay. Bye. All right, guys. Well, that's Craig Scheller with the Backyard Conversations podcast, newer podcast that just came down the pike. All right, guys. So one other quick podcast that we got going on here that I think you guys can find a ton of tremendous value into, another impromptu, is my man, Corey Ballard. What's up, bud? How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Just a really quick, we're going through all the different green industry podcasts today. I'm doing a podcast episode talking to all the people that listen to our show, which I'm super grateful for, trying to point people in a couple other directions that they can listen to other people's podcasts in the industry. And you guys have the Green Grind. And so I didn't want to leave you guys out of the conversation because you guys have some great podcasts, you and Leroy. So if you can, give me your 2-minute, quote unquote, elevator pitch, and let me know a little bit about the Green Grind podcast.
Yeah, so the Green Grind is Leroy Maines and I. We both have companies here in Des Moines, Iowa, and we drop a new episode every Tuesday, so not as much as some of the guys, but as we quickly figured out, this podcasting thing's a little bit of work, a little more work than we maybe originally signed up for, but, just trying to always have new guests on, mainly lawn care guys, but we've also ventured out with some other people that have been successful in other businesses. We've talked insurance, investment strategies, how to get some 401k and different things for your employees to, recruit and retain. So just always trying to bring, great guests. And then, of course, Leroy and I have been in the business a long time, so we try to share our experience as well. And I think for the upcoming 23, we're really going to try to work on, getting some larger companies. I think there's been, we've had a lot of guys that, have small operations, which is good. But, I think we'd like to get some guys there that are at the next level, whatever that looks like, 3 million, 5 million. And, how do you get there? And what steps do they, need to take as owners and leaders to get to that next level? And so, we enjoy our guests. And actually, we're doing some episodes today and trying to bring in, new people all the time. And it's fun. And we love talking our industry. So, that's our pitch. And, hopefully guys are enjoying the content. We seem to be getting a lot of good feedback, but, it's been fun, and we're going to keep rolling. We're going to get a little bit more sophisticated here soon and actually video them and be able to show a little better content where if guys want to actually watch the podcast as well, we're going to try to do that for this upcoming season as well.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, I like I said, I super appreciate you kind of filling in really quick and letting us know what you guys got going on. What's the what's your overarching theme or topic maybe for the podcast for 2023? A lot of, for example, a lot of people said know your numbers or know your worth, that kind of stuff, which of course is 100% important. Anything that you or the podcast or direction you guys are trying to take the show, I know you said bigger guests, bigger companies, but any overarching themes, if you will?
Well, I guess it just depends on the guest, but I'm focused on trying to bring in some people that are really, I guess taking it to the next level. We're still going to have our guys on that are running small operations, and we'd like to bring in some other people even outside. We're talking to some guys that have been some, sports stars, had great careers, in athletics, just kind of overcoming adversity. And the big topic always is employees, leadership, and how do I become a better leader? So it, really depends on our guests, but we're going to kind of, I think, try to broaden our horizons a little bit with our guests. And we don't want to get too far off topic and have people in totally different industries, but I think successful people, tend to carry the same message. And I think, hopefully our listeners can relate to that and apply some of that to to their business.
Sure. No, that's it, man. That's great. I appreciate it. Thanks for taking time. Like I said, we have 8 to 10 hours a day on those lawnmowers and 12, 14 hours on a plow truck run, right? So
absolutely.
People listening to my show, they'll get a hour snippet, of what's going on in our little world. But there's so many other great people that they can listen to and get 3, 4, 5 podcasts in a day. And Corey, I was just mentioning this to somebody else. I said there's about 10 or 15 good lawn care podcasts. Some of them have 800 episodes, 500 episodes, 400 episodes. There's 2,000-3,000 episodes that are out there for literally for free at cost to the people that put the shows on, for free to the listener. Can you imagine if you had access to something like that 25, 30 years ago when you were starting Perfect Cut?
Absolutely. I say that all the time. Like, we just didn't have access to any information. So we just had to, live and learn and mess things up. And I tell guys all the time now, when you're on that mower, instead of listening to whatever you're listening to, man, throw on a podcast and, just learn if you can apply that to some of your, to your business. Pick up a couple pointers. I listen to podcasts constantly, and I'm not really in the game as much anymore. And I still learn new things and strategies and just ways that I can continue to be a better leader. And so, there's just a ton of information for everybody out there, and it's such an advantage.
That's it. It's awesome, man. I love it. Amen to that. Well, hey, I know you are recording and batching out a couple episodes as well. I shot you a quick text message, see if you could hop on really quick. Thank you for hopping on, and we'll let you go, brother. We'll catch up with you here soon, all right?
Awesome. Thanks, Brian.
All right. We'll see you, Corey. Okay. Bye-bye. I know a lot of you guys listening in do lawn care. I know a lot of you guys do landscaping, hardscaping. And if you do lawn care, a lot of people want to, graduate to retaining walls and landscaping. So check out guys like Andy Mulder, Josh Sutton, Caleb Allman that we had on earlier, Mike Pletz, How to Hardscape podcast. If just some other quick honorable mentions, we'll button this up, but Lawn Care Podcast, Mike Gunn had some great ones. There's Lansing Lawn Care. There's Julio with Lawn Care Business Success, Keith Kelfus. I texted some of these guys. Unfortunately, they weren't available or didn't get back with me quick enough, which is okay. But anyway, tons of great podcasts out there. And I think the idea or the theme is, and we were even hitting on this really quick as I button up this thought with Paul, was, my gosh, there's hundreds and if not thousands, right? If not tens of thousands of hours of content available to you guys. And so many people are like, hey, what's the best business advice or best piece of advice or how can I this or how can I that? And I'm like, well, outside of buying a course, if you will, and getting the silver bullet and just getting the meat and potatoes and getting your whatever for $50, $100, $500, whatever the course or topic or contract or whatever it is learn the nuances through the podcast. Of course, you're going to learn by doing the most, by digging the ditches and cutting the grass and all that mess. But in the meantime, if you have 5, 7, 8 hours a day to be able to pour into your brain, that's just during work time. That doesn't count your 1 hour workout at the gym. It doesn't count going to grocery shopping and putting the iPods in, or the AirPods in, I should say. You can put 5 to 10 hours of content into your brain a day. I mean, and you can even put it at 1.5 speed if you want to hear people talk fast, or put mine at 0.75 speed and hear me talk normal, right? But the last thing I'll say is that some people, and I've said this on a podcast before, some people treat a crumb like a feast and other people treat a feast like a crumb. And so other people do like, well, their podcasts, like what can I really learn? Not that really people say that, but right, some people treat a feast like a crumb. And other people, they're saying, oh my God, these podcasts, people put these out at their expense for time and money. 1, 2, 3, Paul was doing 5 days a week shows. People put these out. Oh, they're making money off of it. Yeah, but I will tell you, like, nobody's making Joe Rogan money. Okay, nobody's making 6 digits, plus. And if they did, I'd be very, very happy for them. I mean, with the value that they're offering, I think it's worth it. But at the end of the day, nobody's making $200 million on their podcast in the green industry. Okay, they might make it break even and or a small profit or a decent little income off it. But at the end of the day, like, some people treat that crumb like a feast, right? And people are putting this all at their time, their expense to be able to pour this out there. I'm so grateful that this stuff exists. I know you guys listening in, I'm preaching to the audience or preaching to the choir, whatever they say, but you guys appreciate this stuff. But if you guys want to ever reciprocate and show love to these guys, give them a follow, give them a like, leave them a 5-star rating and review. You've heard that from me and from everybody. It is the currency of appreciation for podcasts, YouTube videos, social media, is just to show some love. Don't get soft, don't get lazy, on it if you can. If you will, show them some love, leave them a 5-star and let them know that you're supporting the show. It takes nothing to just I heard somebody say, like, it costs nothing to support a small business. Leave a like, leave a heart, leave a review. It just goes so far for people with our small businesses and our small podcasts, if you will. So, all right, well, that's what I got. Check out all these shows, guys. I really appreciate you guys listening in, and hopefully you guys found some fun, time in this and some fun value. And I think it was a pretty cool podcast and pretty cool idea. So that's what I got for you guys. Check them all out. And that's what I got for you guys on this show of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 a.m. Hit that plus sign in the top right corner of your podcast player. That will subscribe you to the show, which means that when you guys are subscribed and we drop a new episode, it is automatically downloaded on your phone through iTunes or your podcast player or Spotify. And so that way, when you guys are headed out the door to cut grass and do leaf cleanups and plow snow, that episode is already downloaded on your phone that you can check out. And that is going to be available to you so you can listen in and have my voice in your ear or in your speaker, God forbid, for the morning and help you guys get the job done. So in which way. That's what I got for you guys. Have a great day. We will catch up with you here on the next one.
New program alert. The How to Get New Lawn Care Customers training program is now available. If you guys have ever struggled at acquiring new customers or are looking to grow your lawn care business, then this new program might just be for you. Looking to learn the best tactics to develop a successful postcard marketing campaign? We got you covered. Have you ever wondered how to use social media to exponentially grow your business and dominate the competition? We got that too. Whether you're just getting started in business or you're a seasoned vet, there's something for everyone in this new program available now, exclusively at L'Entrepreneuracademy.com.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.